Alright guys, welcome to the shop. So, for you keen viewers out there, you'll notice that one, we're in a shop, so that's new, we're not in a backyard. And if you look at the back of the truck, the rear bumper is not done. So you guys will see for just this build series that it's a little bit out of sequence, but by the time you're seeing this, the rear will be completed. We just had some downtime while we're waiting on parts and figured we might as well start doing the front bumper because this bumper, don't get me wrong, great bumper. Warren did a good job on this one. Only issue is here, it doesn't really offer any protection there, and I've already taken a couple of rocks to here, and I figured I might as well upgrade a little bit while I got some downtime. So we're going to do a full front high clearance bumper, comes up to about here. Yeah, so we're gonna film the process on that and see what happens.
That's a good thing that's getting cut off.
So yeah.
Are you having...
Well, because it has to be straight up and down, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be here.
But you're
I
not
need to mark
straight.
over
You're
here.
not straight. That's better.
Is it? Because from my angle,
It looks a lot better from this angle.
looks like it has to be here. Does that look straight still?
No, it's
That
got to
looks
go
way
in.
straighter for me.
It's got to go there.
But that looks fucking... Okay, whatever. If you think this is straight, it's your truck.
Well, we'll just measure 5 times and then cut once,
There
hopefully.
you go. There's our mark, so I have to cut there.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't like where this is going.
So that's like, what, about like 91 and a half.
Well, after measuring about a dozen times, we've made...
That doesn't line up with that at all.
No, it doesn't. Why are you going up on it? It's not that much of a taper.
Well, no, but look, the tape's straight though. Like if I go down to there,
But the body of the truck isn't straight.
clear.
Oh, now you're taking off the marks.
No, the mark's still up, right? Permanent marker.
Oh dear.
Look, the mark's not going
Okay,
anywhere.
okay. That one is.
No, it isn't.
That is.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
You're
it
looking
is.
at the dirt beside it. Look, there's
Oh,
none on
no,
the tape.
okay. You got me.
This tape is barely sticking to your truck. Never mind the fucking marker on it. No, we're still off like by a
Oh! Come on. Oh, hang on. We're pulling things out we don't need to pull out. Oh, look at that! We're free!
Only half your truck fell apart.
That's fine.
I see this as an absolute win.
It'll happen 15 years from now when the frame breaks anyway. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Take this out because that's not going to work with the new one anyway.
grab this here.
Yeah, hang on.
All right, well, here we are. Front bumper's off, winch is off, fog light bezels are off, grill's off, and now we get to start doing the cutting.
With our UK murder weapon.
You know, I thought that would never work, but it's actually not that bad.
It's really, really, really well.
It's not that bad.
People said, oh, Brandon, you'll never cut into your truck. Yeah, well, here we are. Oh, how things change. Oh, come on. Don't you fight me. Now I can see what I'm doing. Ouch. Oh, that's gonna be a pain. Ow. It's a little hot, I'm not gonna lie. How in the shit?
The issue is the blade's a little small. All right. Oh, you just got to trim that little corner. You might have to get the shiv. The shiv might be best for this.
Oh, fucking what, you mate?
Okay, well that had to come out anyway. So now that we got the bumper off and we're trimmed, maybe, ooh. You know, with bumper setups like this, your approach angle is just whatever you want it to be. Okay, so we've got everything trimmed in terms of the bumper, the fender liners. We relocated the transmission cooler back 2 inches. We got these nifty little plates. Huge shout out to Malcolm at North Shore Off-Road for sourcing me these plates. A lot of guys locally were all talking about, oh, if you're putting a front bumper on, you better get these reinforcement brackets. So that's what those are. So we're gonna see if those do something or not. Some guys say yes, some guys say no, so we're gonna see. But in the meantime, Matt is going to put the first actual bumper piece on, and we're gonna see how it fits. You might have to take the tow hook off, or you can go around it. That works too. There.
Doesn't really clear this.
Oh. You have it backwards.
You would be right.
You have it backwards.
You would be very correct. That is the passenger side.
Yep. You know, it looks kind of
What
heavy.
you said was the right way.
I did.
So I blame you half.
I did.
At least half.
Wow, it fits a lot better when you put it on the right way, eh?
Does it though?
Yeah. Take the hook off. There we go.
Your bumper's done.
Yeah.
I'll bolt it up.
Just weld a little tab for some fog lights and put a hook.
Oh, I guess there was that second piece we have to put on, the folded piece.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, we got to put the side on too. There's a lot going on here. Just a quick walk over to here. We got really busy with skid plates and sliders and the whole nine. But here are our pieces for the bumper. And we've just been going through the instructions that Coastal Off-Road provided us and just starting at the beginning and working our way through. So I believe those 2 guys are next, and then that's next, and then I think that piece. So now that we got the center plate on and these little side mounts, which is they double as your recovery point and your winch plate when you add in these little brackets that Matt's putting in. But we learned the hard way. Well, I learned one thing the hard way. When your welding helmet is dead, there is no warning. So I'm a little bit blind right now. Now, the other thing is when you're putting these little recovery plates on, Don't tack on the inside of the plate, tack on the outside of the plate, because if you tack on the inside, they're not gonna sit nicely. But luckily we only did it on one side, and then now that we tacked it, or I got rid of the tack and then put this plate in there, everything should be able to be tacked together. Look at that. Fabricator.
I was off by, what would you say, like 2 millimeters, 1.5
Here,
millimeters?
move the glove. There.
That much.
That much. That's how much you're off. But honestly, here.
But we'll tack it in. And
Yeah, but if you tack it in and I give it a little push,
So no,
it'll be mint, bud.
we'll make it all mint.
It'll be perfect. You know, this, for it being 2:30 in the morning, it's coming together quick. Like, all of this here took maybe 10, not even 10 minutes. All right, so it's 2:43 in the morning. Happy Canada Day to all you Canadians out there. Now, we've made extreme progress. So this plate here, which is what I like about this kit, is this top plate, your little light bar flat plate here, and your fair lead plate are all one piece. So rather than it being like like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 pieces, it's just one piece for the whole front center section, which makes life so much easier when it comes to actually putting it together. We've been at it for an hour and a half, and honestly, we haven't had any major hang-ups or any sort of problems with the kit being incorrect, and everything is just bolting on as it should. Everything's lining up perfectly.
Literally falling into place.
Yeah, literally falling into place. Like that is, I mean, when you weld it, it's obviously gonna warp a little bit, but this is all coming together. So Matt was just pointing out something when he was just mocking things up. This plate here on both sides is perfectly parallel. It's off by maybe 3 thou of an inch on this side, and if we come to this side, it's also off by maybe another 3, maybe 4 thou. But when you fill this with weld and you grind it down, it's gonna be as flush as you can possibly get. And I mean, this could even shift that way just a tiny bit. So according to these here instructions, they say what we're doing here, the tacking on the truck, they recommend you pull the bumper and then put it back on the truck and then finish tacking. But for what we're doing, we are tacking it all on the truck, pulling it off, putting it on one of these 2 stands here. And then I'm gonna fully weld it without it being on the truck, and then we can weld it, grind it, paint it, and then put it back on rather than pulling it on, pulling it off. It's up to you entirely what you want to do, but this is just what would work easier for us given our current setup. But it's like everything we've had so far has been perfect. And it's actually not taking nearly as long as I thought it was going to. All right, so it is 3 something or other in the morning.
No, it's not that early.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Sorry, hold on.
So we just finished doing one of the wings, and we're like, okay, something's not right here. Like this, when we bring it up, it's like something's not right. The bumper's twisted, and then we got this nifty little laser level that kind of looks like it's from Portal, and got it matched up perfectly where the cut lines are. And would you look at that? Somebody, also known as me, can't cut in a straight line. So I guarantee you, if I cut along that line right there, that thing's gonna fit perfect, because we are going right off of what the instructions say in terms of cut line, because you want it to be right on this line, which we might actually be a little bit too high, but it's fine.
No,
It's
where?
fine. Right here. I feel like we're supposed to be down like a 1/4 inch.
No, it's the body line.
Okay. Okay, if you say so.
If it's even on both sides, no one will know.
Hang on. I gotta show off how fancy we being. Alrighty, so we're almost there. This was just supposed to be I'll come to the shop tonight. We'll pull the front bumper, we'll pull the grill. Tomorrow we can start welding. Technically, we did start welding tomorrow, but it's
Today, tomorrow.
It is today, tomorrow. It's 3:50 in the morning. I'm debating doing a Timmy's or a Don's run to go get some coffee, because it's morning. Some people start their morning this early, but we've almost finished the bumper. We have both wings done, like I said. We have a hoop to put on, and then the tacking is done. And then tomorrow we're gonna start with welding it completely, grinding it, and then hopefully it's gonna be painted by tomorrow. That's the plan, at least. So now we're just mocking up. Before we get too ahead of ourselves here, we got these little guys here are meant to go behind the fog light cutouts so you can actually mount your light. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we figured we might as well put those mounts in now. But I was just in awe about how fancy these Vivids are, and how, like, look at that. Look. The mount doesn't go on the outside, it goes on the inside. That is sweet. You know, the birds are up now.
That's what I was going to say. I can hear the birds.
I can hear the birds. That's when you know it's like, oh shit, maybe we should go to bed.
We've been up for a little while.
So it's 4 in the morning. I can't believe we did this. And hey, look, the sun's coming up. Look at the sunrise over there. Oh my God. If you listen carefully, you might be able to hear the birds in the distance. No, of course, when I point out that there's birds, they all shut up. You know, it was only supposed to be hey, we'll pull the front grille and the bumper, maybe.
Just like 2 10 mils, 2 clips, maybe if we're ambitious, like 6 bolts. Cafefe.
Yeah, it's now 4:47 in the morning.
I.e. cafefe time.
And it's like, well, since we didn't sleep, we might as well just make the best of it and just keep on rolling as if it was a regular morning.
The nice thing about no one being on the road is you don't have to use your turn signals.
This is true. This is true. I haven't stayed up this late in, a really long time. Like maybe 4 or 5 years.
Another person.
Oh, a person.
Just want to point out we were here before all 3 of them. Or all 3 of us.
Yep. That we were.
There's 3.
We just gotta yield for
No one.
no one. Okay, so now that we got the front portion done, in terms of tacked up, now we get to do some welding and some grinding. But before we do the grinding, we had to go by, well, actually we did like 3 or 4 stops, because who would have thunk that on a stat holiday nowhere would be open, but Home Depot was. So we picked up paint and discs from Home Depot so we can paint it and sand it. But we just want to point out how safety is #1 priority here.
Yeah, so
with this,
don't worry.
Oh God.
If you read it here, it says, do not use with a guard. So I took the guard off like the disc says.
Alrighty, so now that we have all the welding and grinding done, it's time for some paint. It's our makeshift paint booth, but it'll work for now. We test fitted the Vivid Lumen FNG3s, so everything's just hunky-dory. So yeah, now we get to put some paint, put it on, and then we're gonna test this bad boy out. Well, somebody's stealing something, but it's not my problem.
As long as they're not stealing our paint, we're fine.
Who's stealing the paint?
No one, hopefully. Yeah.
It stopped.
Oh,
It stopped blinking.
It's working now. It's working now.
Maybe that blinking was actually
Mid painting update.
Well, while the bumper cures, and we battle these paint fumes, we decided to put those countersunk bolts in the bottom of the slider, but you got to drill your holes first. Everything was going good with the pilot hole, and we had a little like 1/4-inch bit. Can I see the bit? Thanks. It's a $45 snap-on drill bit. It's more of a snap-off drill bit. That just shattered immediately. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just open up the brand new kit. And also proceeded to shatter that one. And then I'm like, oh, okay, we'll grab another one. And then we also proceeded, I mean, this one didn't shatter, it just broke. So it's an actual battle now. I do want to say, I just noticed, well, not just noticed, but I was admiring your outfit earlier. You're really going for value. You have a snap-on t-shirt, Milwaukee hat, so you have quality, but then Costco sweatpants.
Well, I have to look professional.
There we go.
We got this. We're professional.
Yeah, it says on the can, so we must be.
I surprise myself sometimes, and this was one of those times where I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm not really the greatest at it, but you know what, I'll give it a go. And this exceeded my expectations by far. And this is, in my opinion, is comparable to like a CBI, maybe a C4. Granted, I might be a little full of myself because I built it, but oh my God. I can't stop looking at it. I can't.
It is pretty shiny.
It is shiny. I don't want to drive it home in case I hit a bug. Or like maybe a mosquito.
It's too nice now.
And of course, we have to thank Vivid Lumen for supplying us with these FNG3s. These are the spot pattern, which I didn't think they were that spotty until we put them on and we're like, hey, let's see what happens. And we went boop. And I'm gonna blind so many people. So I think what we're gonna do is wire those separately to like an auxiliary bar and then like an auxiliary bar switch. On these outer two, I'm gonna get their floodlight version of this because they're on back order currently. So then my plan is to have the floods hooked up to the spot, or sorry, the floods are going to be hooked up to the fog light switch on the truck, and then these are going to be auxiliary, so then I'm going to have a flood, and if I need a spot, then I can hit spot and get just that extra little bit of vision, especially in the dark. Yeah, I still, this is what just boggles my mind. This and this and this are all welds. Like everything you see here was a weld at one point in time in its life. It started life out as a piece of wire and then it got melted and then I basically took a giant hot glue gun and went clunk and hot glued them together. And I think I found my new calling. I think this is what I'm going to do from now on. Like, look at that. Look at this weld. That's like ARB quality weld right there. That is, wow. Huh. I don't want to use it now. It's too nice. But like, this was a bead. And so was here and here. There were all beads everywhere. and now it's like you can't even tell. Like this is like almost store-bought, but I made it myself. So that's something to be proud of.